Welcome back, Josh Giddey, and welcome back to 500 Chicago Bulls as they win 3 in a row against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Is it signs of things to come? Are the Bulls back? We're going to talk about it.
Get the lowdown on one of the most iconic basketball teams in the world. You're listening to Chicago Bulls Nation.
What is going on, Bulls Nation? So this is a game that is circled on probably Minnesota's fans out there because they are getting a glimpse of the 3-guard rotation by the Chicago Bulls that they're kind of eyeing because they wanted to upgrade their point guard situation. So, and the Bulls have a farm of point guards out there. As you can see here, you got Kobe White, Trey Jones, and Ayo Dosunmu. Each one of those guys could be a starting point guard for a lot of teams, who's in need of a point guard. For example, Houston Rockets, teams like that. So if you're the Bulls, you want to showcase it to the world that, hey, you need one of these guards because ideally the Bulls trade one or two of them, to another team because at some point you're going to have to pay Ayo and Kobe. So ideally you trade one of them, if not both, for the right price, that is. But the story of this game is Josh Giddey. Kobe White with a 3 here, but Josh Giddey came back on a minutes restriction and immediately made an impact for the Bulls. Immediately cemented his way. It was like, all right, we're not going to do a minutes restriction for him. If there's one observation I can do here is that more than one, there's nobody in Minnesota. And they don't have draft picks either. If I'm the Bulls, you're going to have to involve a third team because no one in your roster interests me. Obviously outside of their stars like Ant Edwards, of course, I'm going to give half of the Bulls roster for him. But outside of something realistic, they're not going to trade McDaniels. They're not going to trade Naz Reid. Nobody. Without a pick, I don't want to take on DiVincenzo or Mike Conley or TSJ or Rob Dillingham. That's another guard. I don't want any of those guys. The only reason to get those guys, if you're the Bulls, is that if you're going to get some compensation, a first rounder, even protected. But a second rounder, you might as well just let him expire, I'm sure there's another team out there who's willing to give up even a heavily protected first rounder for Kobe, Ayo, or Trey Jones, especially Trey Jones because he's playing great, solid defensively, and his salary is not a lot, and he's locked in for another 2 more years. So the Bulls have to, be patient, and they're really patient. So I'm not even worried about that. But as far as this game, few observations I don't like. I think we have a good enough sample size now about Giddey and Kobe. I don't think they work. So you need to trade Kobe, in my opinion. I always wanted Ayo before Kobe, but if it means we trade both, because I think Giddey works well with Trey Jones, I'm all for it as well. If we can get a big guy or somebody in the wing to supplement that, or not even that, if we can get some salary fillers with some draft capital, even though it's protected first, I'm all for that. But it's not working. The Giddey Kobe situation. Yes, we won 3 in a row, but Giddey just came back now. If you make me choose, obviously it's Giddey. He's younger. His contract is more friendly. He's locked in for 4 more years. So I'm always gonna go for Giddey. His 3-point shot has improved. But we gotta get something. We gotta get something. But by something, I don't mean DiVincenzo as well. So hopefully the Bulls can find a partner in the next 2 weeks for our guys. I'm gonna make a separate video because with the rumors that we're getting, Yves Missy and Zion Williamson. Look at this drive by Josh Giddey right here. With Giddey in the lineup, it's just a little bit more. He also helps rebounding. So that helps as well. Patrick Williams didn't play bad tonight. He's actually, I think, in a plus-minus box. He's pretty positive. Vooch, decent. This is a long team, so you need effective rebounding. But I feel like the star of the game for sure is Trey Jones in the second half. And Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith. Look at that defense by Vooch. My God, Vooch, show some resistance for crying out loud. But Jalen Smith has been playing tremendously this past few games. And thank God, because and this is a big fear of mine as well, because now that Giddey's back, I don't know, how is the lineup gonna be? Because the two bigs lineup, I think, kind of works. Jalen Smith kind of hides Vooch's deficiency on rebounding and interior defense, because he's really good defensively. But once Giddey comes back, it'll be Giddey, Kobe, and Okoro. So that pushes Smith on the bench. That means our rebounding is not as effective and our interior defense is not as good. Matas Buzelis played decent tonight. Yeah, it's okay. He guarded Ant very well on one possession. You know, he protects the paint, you know, pretty well as well. But I think I'm in a point now where I want to see Matas in the 3. And that would only work if we get rid of Kobe, because you can't really, bench Kobe at this point. Get rid of Kobe. If we can get somebody, decent on the wing, even better. But I would say that's the first order of business if I'm the Bulls GM. Get something for Kobe. And it doesn't need to be a net positive player, as long as it's somewhat of an asset. It could be a top 10 protected first, if you can swing that, right? Like, if not, maybe a top lottery first. Something. You gotta get something for Kobe, because the worst thing you can do, and I'm expecting this as a Bulls fan, is Kobe signing for $30 million a year. I don't really want to see that. But let me know in the comments, what do you think about this win? The Bulls are back to 500. I'm going to make some more videos before. I'm going to be a little bit more active before the trade deadline. But thank you for watching. If you're a Bulls fan, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.